Damn, that shit went live quick. All right. So I'm gonna do my live in here. Let me get my chair. Get my chair. Ooh, if I'm too loud, let me know. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Ashe, Ashe. Okay. So I put the link there, and we'll see how it goes. People might be busy or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see if anybody pulls up. But I wanted to go through this idea, y'all. The world is in a crisis, and my premise, my thinking. I got my coffee. I'm getting my day started. I'm in the master bath. So forgive the echo, but I'm in the master bath doing my hair. Today is, I would say date night, but I guess it's a date day. Going out for a lunch date with my husband, and I'm looking forward to it. And so I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. Getting my hair done. Getting my hair did. Good morning, everybody. So I put the link down, and if you decide you want to hit the link, say something in the chat because I don't always see the little thing, the little invite person thing. Um, Forgive the echo. But anyway, I'm 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 seeing a pattern. I'm seeing a trend here. I'm seeing a trend. Um, and I'll be honest with y'all. I feel like at this point, the boomers are fucking up the world. That's how I feel. The boomers, and even older parts, and even younger parts of Gen X, are fucking up the world. And I'm gonna tell y'all how I feel like when I look around at everything, they're fucking up the world. Somebody, this is not my original idea. I mean, I've been seeing stuff, but it really hit me when I saw one particular video somebody did, and what they said was that there's no mentoring happening, and that's supposed to always happen. And mentoring and passing down, I guess you would say passing the up next, who's up next, right? Succession. That's what the whole stream that person did was about. So I'm kind of, I wish I could show it. But succession is a problem for the boomers. And it's fucking up the world in every shape, form, or fashion. If you look at family, if you look at socially, if you look at institutions, education, what's up? What's going on, Gabe? Good morning. These boomers, these old people, I'm talking about old white men, old white women, and I got a lot of examples to explain myself. You say I'm right. Yeah, no mentorship. They don't want to let go. Every generation has to fucking let go. You can't die in that spot. You can't have that spot forever. You can't. Same thing with a family. A man has to teach his son. He got to teach his son. Why does he have to teach his son? He got to teach his son because his son is going to inherit, or his daughters will inherit. His sons and his daughters. The whole next generation will inherit the shit you work for. So the knowledge and the skills that you have to pass down to your children. You're not going to live in that house forever. You're not going to keep that property forever. You're not going to keep that money, your status, your title, whatever the fuck you have earned. You have to pass what you can to the next generation. And people are not doing it. They're not passing the knowledge. They're not preparing young people. And it's almost like they're afraid that once young people with new skills and new knowledge and new abilities will surpass them. They're afraid and they're living in fear. And I'm seeing that starkly with the boomers. I look at politics. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She's a perfect example. This old bitch that sat there for how many years? She came in to Congress when she was in her 30s. Bitch, somebody made a way for you to be there. You came in your 30s, 40s. That meant somebody had to move out the way for you. Now your ass is in your 80s and you still there. You gotta let go. She just retired. But AOC, who wanted to basically take her place, she was like, no. And she's hung on to that shit. Chuck Schumer, same thing. All these old motherfuckers. Mike Johnson ain't that old. I'm surprised he got in. Mitch McConnell, he stayed forever. Look at him. I'm not lying. Look at Biden. Look at Trump. You know? Cuomo. Another example. You want to ruin New York City. Gabe said, I feel like we millennials are just figuring it out at this point. That's the problem. That's the problem. Millennials are just figuring it out. I think we're all figuring it out because we're looking at the world and we're saying, what the whole fuck is going on? Why is this world so backwards? And it's crazy because the people who are making all the decisions and who are in charge are a bunch of old motherfuckers. So they don't have to be here to fight when shit falls down. They don't have to inherit the problems that they create. Their ass will be dead and gone. Look at Biden. I'm not trying to judge his fatherhood, but look at the fruit of your damn dick. You got a drug addict ass son. You couldn't have gave him nothing. You should have focused on him instead of the world. He's so busy trying to babysit a spot in the government, he failed to raise and give succession to his own fucking son. That's crazy. These boomers have got to get the fuck out the way. They are the cause of all the modern day problems we have right now. They literally are. If we replace the boomers with younger people, with millennials and Gen Z, the problem of the world would be fucking over. Let's be honest. From New York City to the Congress, all the Congress is just a old bunch of motherfuckers. And the people they bring in that are young, like AOC, like Mandami, you know, Ilham, they got a problem with everybody that's young. Everybody. Better O'Rourke, he came in. I mean, I think Obama was the last young person, along with Ossoff, to ever get a fucking chance. I'm just speaking simply on just government. But these old motherfuckers want to have the spot. I remember when I met and come in contact with, um, um, oh my goodness, John Lewis. And one thing I remember seriously about John Lewis, every time I saw him, he had his page, his intern, right? His mentees. He had them around him. Everywhere he went, they were with him, always. He knew, even though he stayed for a very long time, he knew that it was time for up next. I think he stayed too long. One of his mentees has recently in Georgia taken a position at the Georgia House. Okay. So he gave some secession. But we need more of that. We need these old people to get their asses out the fucking way. They want to run the company and they want to stay there and they don't want to leave. They want to recycle themselves into the boards. Go sit your old ass down. I watch a lot of documentaries about different companies and how they began. And there's always some patriarch who sits at the top and he has children and he finds a reason why every child he can't name a successor. He cannot name a successor. He got a problem with everybody. It's crazy. Let me just use this one as the last example for politics. There is a young man, his name is David Is it Hug? David Hogg. I'm sorry, David Hogg. David Hogg was one of those kids who was in a shooting. I can't remember what the name of the shooting was, a mass shooting. And that catapulted him into the public eye. He became a spokesperson. And eventually he got into politics, right? He started speaking on gun control. And David Hogg was up next. They let him be the vice president of um, the Democratic Party, the DNC. David Hogg had a novel idea, and it's not that novel. I don't know if I told y'all this, but I worked and have worked for Indivisible for a very long time. Indivisible is an organization I partner with, and I have done a lot of work in Georgia with Indivisible. We call it the Indivisible Army, and our organization is stemming from the Obama campaign. Most of us were part of the Obama campaign. And Ezra Levin, he is the head of Indivisible. And they have a very unique top down structure. And in the structure, they basically allow people the creativity. They name the goal. This is our goal. And then people at all levels determine what it is they want to do in their own community. So it is a solid national agenda, days of action and activism. But on the local level, you lead yourselves. They set the agenda, and then you determine how you want to meet the agenda. And the agenda is always on point. I do need to say that. They have a real good pulse on, excuse me, on the necessary change, right? But it's very unique because it gives people autonomy and creativity. It allows people to be leaders. It allows people to be mentored. It allows an open door for all people to participate. Very unique, very novel. Well, David Hogg has the same agenda as Indivisible. As quiet as it's kept, Indivisible has been very, very quiet about the agenda. Y'all know what the agenda of Indivisible has always been? Indivisible's agenda has been to remove old, stale, outdated Democrats nicely. Remove them from their seats by using the voters. How taking young people from the ranks of Indivisible, looking for new talent. That's what we've done. And so I'm going to just tell the truth. We infiltrate the Democratic Party. I'm no longer participating. I'm done. I'm done. I don't give a fuck what the Democrats do anymore. But we intentionally go into the Democratic Party and we research and we feed back to the national the people who are younger, who have more vibrant ideas, and we feed their names back and we encourage them to run for office. We have a hit list. They don't know this. Unless you're an Indivisible, you don't know about it. But we have a hit list in every state of people who need to fucking go. And we've been replacing them slowly but surely. Where the fuck do y'all think John Ossoff came from? Where do y'all think he came from? Indivisible has a way of picking new, fresh, progressive candidates and catapulting them into leadership and supporting them along the way. That's what Indivisible does. So I'm not talking as a person who hasn't worked towards the agenda. It's time for old motherfuckers to go. They're not helping anybody but themselves. They're staying too long and they're doing too much. And let me tell you the truth. They don't have the answers. That's the most important thing. These old people, they got old patterns and rhythms. They're stuck in their ways. They don't have the fucking answers. They're not open to other ideas. So let me tell you what David Hogg did. David Hogg used his position, right, in the Democratic National Convention. He used his leadership position to do exactly what Indivisible said. He said he had a national program that he wanted to implement to get out old, dried up people who are dysfunctional And the only thing they're good for is keeping a Democrat in the spot. And that's what a lot of them do. They just want to have a Democrat in the spot. Whether they're effective, whether they are doing what needs to be done, whether they are change agents, they just keep the status quo. They just stay forever. Like Cuomo. Get your ass out. How long do you need to be here? And these people literally, this is the problem. These boomers want to die in their spot. Y'all hear me? They want to die in the spot they got. They fought for the spot and now they want to die in it. They don't want to go until they're ready to croak. Dianne Feinstein, another example, white woman from California. Dianne Feinstein is literally on fucking oxygen in the goddamn hospital on her last leg. And they kept saying to her, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to go. Don't you want to resign? You got health problems. No, I'm not going anywhere. You can't put me out. Joe Biden did the same thing. Kamala was vice president. She already had the spot. All the motherfucker had to do was take his old ass on. We knew within 2 years that Joe Biden was fucking done. We knew his ass had some kind of mental health issue. We knew his ass was too old. And it ain't for lack of trying. They went to old Joe and they said, hey, old Joe, Kamala is the vice president. But see, what Joe did is he caved because all us black folks and black women, we said, you're not going to be another white man, an old white man in that spot and overlook black women, black people. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do it. I told the Democratic Party so many times, they asked for money, they asked for help, they asked for support. They usually call, I'd be like right there, let me go campaign. Let me help with fundraise. Let me organize. I told them, I said, don't call my phone because it's over for old white man. And if he can't find a black woman or a black man to run with him, somebody younger, he can forget my fucking vote. And I'm not alone. That sound was it was nationwide. It was nationwide. Women said they wanted to see a woman in the White House. Black folks said they wanted to see somebody black in the White House. We're tired of old white men. They are the problem, the scourge of the fucking earth. Okay? We tired. Later for that. So Joe Biden, in order for him to get in that spot, to get and secure the support and the work and the effort it would take on the ground. Because see, it's a lot of groundwork. People don't have any idea. You see the ads, you see the flyers, but it's that groundwork that gets the voters out. I don't care how much money you got. It's that groundwork, that paving the that hitting the pavement, driving voters, supporting voters, registering voters. Oh, it's the groundwork that gets the job done. You can put ads and radio ads and TV ads till the cows come home. It's that groundwork that delivers the votes. I'm here to tell you. One thing I know about is campaigns. So this old fuck knew he was gonna need Kamala in order to get his ass in that damn presidential seat. So in his mind, he said, well, if all I need is a Negro woman to get me in there so I can be king finally. Don't forget, Obama got it and he didn't. He was hurt by that shit. A black man got it. And he, as a white man, having been the longest serving member of Congress, could not get the presidency, no matter how hard he tried. And he knew this is his only shot. Take this black woman, it's better than nothing, and get your ass in that seat. That motherfucker fought for that seat for years. That was his highest ambition as a white man in America, to become president. So he took it. He said, this is my chance. So do you think for any square second that he's only 2 years in that he is about to hand what he had worked and waited for so long and hand it over to a black woman when she was just supposed to be a prop. You crazy? You crazy if you think so. That white man was supposed to hand that spot over to Kamala. She would have been the president. That's what he was supposed to do if he had any fucking sense. But again, we have old ass boomers that do not want to let go. They don't want to share power, hand over power. They don't want to prepare anybody else to lead. They want to sit their ass in that spot till they fucking croak. The boomers are some of the most selfish motherfuckers you will ever see as far as a generation. They are very selfish. You see that on the jobs. They literally do not even want to hire anybody who's fucking competent. They're scared of young people who have more degrees than them. They're scared of young people who manage to get a plethora of education and new skills, which come with new vitality, new energy, enthusiasm, youth. They hate that shit. That is the biggest threat to them. When they see young people, they don't think, yes, good. You can carry the torch. You're supposed to carry the torch and pass it on. You don't supposed to keep the torch till the fucking flame goes out. But that's what they do. They are insecure. Let me tell y'all one of the reasons why the boomers are insecure. And I've seen this across the map. When I was a young teacher, coming into teaching in my early 20s, almost right out of college, what I found when I looked around is that we had a whole bunch of teachers and administrators who had been grandfathered in. Pay attention to this part. They've been grandfathered in to their positions where the standards, when the standards were low and simple, right? All you needed to do was have some kind of bachelor's degree to teach something. Some kind of bachelor's degree. A lot of these motherfuckers got generic ass degrees, outdated degrees, degrees in information and knowledge they learned 20, 30 years ago that is no longer fucking relevant. That's the secret. The degrees and the quality of the degrees and the knowledge and the skill sets that they learned 20, 30 years ago are fucking outdated. And so when they see these young people coming with a plethora of skills, when they see these young people coming with customized advanced degrees, multiple degrees, their only defense to save themselves, they're afraid you want to take their place because they plan on sitting there forever. Their only thing they can do is try to make young people look fucking incompetent. Find fault within young people. You can't find fault in somebody and mentor them at the same time. So there was no mentoring from the boomers. How do I know? Because I'm a fucking Gen X. And Gen X, because of the boomers, is likely repeating the pattern to some extent. So when I came into teaching, for example, instead of the older women, the boomers, welcoming me, helping me in practical ways as far as experience is concerned. Because the only thing I was lacking was experience. You've been sitting your sorry ass in this teaching position for 20 plus years. You should have saw the energy of youthful teachers, younger teachers, and you should have took them under your wing. But instead, you was competing with them because you felt like they was going to get leadership positions because they qualified with more degrees than you have when you graduated in 1970. You graduated with your college degree in 1960. So you are threatened. You thinking they're going to get privileges that you're not qualified for. You don't want them to become leadership. You don't want them to surpass you. So you find ways to hold them back. So there was no mentoring on the job sites. If anything, they were sabotaging Gen X. But the thing is, there was enough jobs for Gen X to make it despite, right? There was a plenteous to the point where no matter what the fucking boomers did, no matter if the boomers didn't make a way and make a space for us, we had room to push ourselves in, Gen X. There was room, so we made room for ourselves. Unfortunately, with the shrinking job market, with the AI, the advancements in technology, and stuff like that, the millennials have less places to push in. So think about that. You got, just like musical chairs, you got 10 chairs, okay? And for the boomers, they think they're going to stay in all 10 chairs. But the Gen X, we end up having chairs added, right? Morning, Woo. Good morning. Gen X, because things were booming, instead of the 10 chairs that the boomers had, there was five more chairs added. So now we got 15 chairs. So at least five of them, out of the 15 chairs can be sat in, occupied by a Gen X. That's how it was. We made room for ourselves and the economy made room for us. So we were able to get in. But to this day, them boomers are still fucking sitting in those seats. Now the thing is, instead of it now being 15 seats, we back to 10 seats. And some of the boomers died off. So we got four boomers, five boomers sitting in those seats. It's time for them to go. It should be 10, 7 or 8, maybe 7 or 8 Gen X sitting in those seats out of the 10. We should be occupying at least 5 out of the 10 spots, making room for the millennials. That's not fucking happening because the boomers still got their asses in the seats. They still want to take up space. It's time for you to retire. It's time for you to go. Get the fuck on and let the next generation. So there's a lot of Gen X that did not fully get to take their positions rightfully in the world. Think about it. Where was the Gen X Nancy Pelosi? Where was she at? It didn't happen. It never happened. Where was the Gen X Chuck Schumer? It never happened. So when there was no space for us, there was nobody there. The boomers sat and stayed. The boomers are occupying space that Gen X should be in. So guess what? There's either no Gen X or the Gen X who comes next is like, I need my time. And their time is rolling into the millennials' time. So not only did we not get a Gen X in a lot of places where there should have been mentorship from boomers who should have moved the fuck on and let Gen X up next, by the time Gen X pushes their way in, they just got there. They're not gonna fucking leave. So they're gonna end up acting just like the fucking boomers. They're coming in late and staying too long. And the boomers just refuse to fucking leave. So what are we supposed to do for our millennials? You acting just like X is acting just like the boomers. They just got there. They got there late or not at all. And the millennials is like, hey, wait a minute, it's my turn. And Gen X is like, man, I just got here. I'm sorry. I can't. You know how long I waited for that motherfucking boomer to die off and let go and retire? So now you're gonna have a repeating cycle. Gen X is not making room to mentor and have a succession for millennials. And we already know that millennials, if there was If there was 10 seats, then it went down to 15. Then it went down to 10. Not one was left for a millennial. Not one seat was left for a millennial. So when Gen X comes up and it's only 7 seats and it's six boomers in it and one Gen X, no millennials, who the fuck in Gen Z is gonna get mentored by a millennial? And we keep saying, oh, the millennials, they're graduating late. They're so late. The millennials are so late. Millennials are undeveloped. Millennials didn't get their degrees. It took them so long. What's wrong with the millennials? It starts with the boomers. The boomers won't retire. They won't let themselves die out. They won't mentor nobody. They won't allow succession to come. They competed with Gen X, refusing to move. So Gen X didn't get a chance to even fully do their part, put their stamp on a lot. They weren't mentored and they can't offer mentoring. And the Gen X is not about to give up their spot when it took so long to wrestle the motherfucker from the boomers. So, of course, Gen X is going to keep their spot as long as they can because they just got there. How long you going to keep trying to push the other generation out and they won't fucking budge? They won't get the fuck on. This is a problem. So what I'm saying is something's got to change. These old motherfuckers got to go. And we're going to have to push them out. That's what I'm realizing. We're going to have to push them out. I don't care if they're seniors. I don't give a damn. They got to go because they're messing up shit for Gen Z. It's a trickle-down effect. So the late arriving Xers who barely got a chance are not mentoring the millennials, and the millennials are so-called fucking late. Millennials don't own houses. Millennials don't have jobs. Took them forever to get a degree, the average one of them. A lot of millennials are going back home to their boomer fucking parents. And here's Gen Z. They're up next. Gen Z is up next. And the generation before you ain't even got grown yet. The millennials ain't got grown yet, most of them. They 40 living like they 20. Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? It's their parents' fault. It's society's fault. We need term limits on shit. We need to put mentoring programs into every aspect. These institutions cannot be ran by 65, 75-year-old motherfuckers. We need college presidents that are young, not these old motherfuckers. I'm just saying. We need young professors, hot, fresh out of graduate school. We need young professors. This needs to be a young people's world. That's what I'm trying to say. Because these old motherfuckers who don't want to move and don't want to let go and don't want to mentor, they sabotaging everything and everybody they touch. It don't make sense that you got 80-year-olds still opening their fucking mouth. It don't make sense that you got people who are 70 trying to direct and tell people what to do in the business world. And maybe, just maybe, that's why the tech industry is booming. Maybe, just maybe, that's why the tech oligarchs are going to rule the world because they're going to end up leading the young people's revolution. And I know we got class issues and all of that shit, but I'm telling y'all, these old motherfuckers, these people 60, 65, 70, 80, 85, 90, these motherfuckers refuse to let go of the institutions. They refuse to mentor. They refuse to share any power or any knowledge, and they don't let Generation Z do shit. They don't let millennials do shit, and they damn sure don't let X do shit. You are 18 fucking five. Go die. I'm just saying. Why are you still the president of the institution? Why is it that all these organizations are headed by motherfuckers that's 2 seconds from the grave? You got old, outdated ideas. You have lack of skill sets. You're not technologically savvy. You are not innovative. You're not open-minded. You just recycle and repeat. It is time for these old motherfuckers to go sit down. All of the world's problems, if you look at it, it's just old motherfuckers. All the heads of state, with the exception of Trudeau, who fucked up and he's gone, and old gay ass Paris guy, the French Macron. Outside of that, most of these motherfuckers are old. Putin is old. Trump is old. Biden is old. All these motherfuckers are old. Lindsey Graham, all the troublemakers are old. Now, Margaret Taylor Greene is a Gen X. But you see, they won't give her no power in the. That's why the bitch is having a revolution of her own. Gen X always gets pushed out by the boomers. One way or another, they find a way to sabotage you. They won't let you up next. I'm telling you, it's time for these boomers to be pushed the whole fuck out. They need to be fired and forced to retire. I'm not being mean. I'm telling y'all what it is because who sacrifices Gen Z and soon to be Gen A, the millennials who are late, and the Xers who keep having to fight with these motherfuckers. I'm not being mean. I'm telling y'all what I see. They are fucking up the world politically, socially. They run all the institutions. They run the schools. They run the business. All these old motherfuckers need to go. They're in the churches. Who's up there? What pastors are young? A whole bunch of 65, 75-year-old motherfuckers. Get your old ass out of here and go sit the fuck down. You can't even mentor anybody because you're so threatened by everybody. So you're fucking useless to everybody. You regurgitate these same old tired ass thoughts. You're not innovative. I'm telling y'all this, and I'm not speaking to anybody on YouTube. This ain't about YouTube. I'm talking about society. They can't guide anybody. They don't know anything. They don't get how the world works. I'm Gen X, and I struggle with trying to adjust to new ways of thinking. And I've always considered myself somebody who's open minded. But I ain't gonna lie, this whole AI thing, I should be trying to embrace it because it's new technology. It's the new way, the new path. It is the difference that's gonna make the difference. I should be saying, how can I be innovative? How can AI give me a higher quality of life? How can it help me be a better businesswoman? I should be. But I'm thinking about all the things that can go wrong. Millennials and Gen Z is not seeing shit like that. It took a Gen Z to teach me that. He showed me some shit. I said, whoa, how? They're not afraid. They don't struggle with new ideas like Gen X and boomers do. And I feel bad for the millennials. The millennials are old and apology. My brother's a millennial. And a lot of us Gen X, we try to judge them by our outcomes. We did this way and you couldn't do anything. We bought homes. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? But even in families, times have changed. Are men mentoring their sons? Apparently not. Apparently, men are not mentoring their own sons in the home or out of the home. They're not. Because guess what? Their sons are becoming gamers. Their sons are hiding in social media or homosexuality. Their sons are engulfed in ulterior worlds that don't have anything to do with building and functioning as men. Their sons are looking for mentorship and understanding from people like Andrew Tate. Or they're looking at the oligarchs like Elon Musk with his weird ass as a standard. They don't have any real men in real life that's teaching them anything. And I'm talking about, when I say teaching, I'm talking about lifelong mentoring. I ain't talking about some motherfucker that just got something to say. I'm talking about people who are local in your life, your father, guiding you, supporting you, advising you. That shit is non fucking existent. These men are not out here mentoring their sons. Their sons come online looking to be relevant in a cyber world, looking for guidance and sound bites. Can you believe that? That's one of the things I always ask. I got, y'all know how many female mentors, I'm in my mid 40s. Y'all know how many female mentors, boomers that I have that put me up next? They put me up next a long time ago. So I know something about it. I know what it's like to be mentored by a boomer. And the boomer says, you're up next. Let me help you with what I know. I got experience to give you so you can grow. So I know what that shit's like. And a lot of these motherfuckers is not doing it. That's a fact. But right now, if I need guidance at my age, I have lifelong mentors I can call. I can think of 4 of them right now. I can call them right now. I can get the best advice. And some other women. I got men too. People who've been with me my whole life that said you up next. I pour into you. But where is that for Gen Z? Where is that for the millennials? Where is that? Where has that? And I'm a lucky Gen X. A lot of Gen X can't point to mentors. A lot of Gen Z can't count on one hand how many mentors they have and have had and maintained. Politically, socially, economically, family wise, they can't. Educationally, on the job, they can't. Because the boomers have been so selfish, so paranoid, and so insecure. Hoggish is the word I would use. Hoggish. They refuse to mentor. They refuse to let the next generation lead. They refuse to accept, this idea, we the only ones who got the answers. We got all the answers. They don't have any answers. That's the problem I have with the boomers. They don't have the answers anymore. They don't have the answers. They can't have the answers. They're too outdated to have any answers. So their whole goal is just to keep the position, to keep the knowledge, to keep the power, and sabotage every generation after them. They need to go. They need to be pushed out of every realm of influence in society, from politics to institutions to religious environments and everything. They need to be pushed out. And I'm going to give an example of something that I saw recently in the past 3 years. Okay. Institutions coming off shapes and sizes. But I literally watched and I had to stand back and just observe. Imagine this. I have a boomer, very powerful boomer. This boomer I know is very, very powerful, influential. And the boomer has had a Gen X mentee for no less than 24 or 25 years. As time has gone over this time, a length of time, the boomer did not want to get out of the leadership position. Very important role. Did not want to go. And so the next generation, his mentee, he started asserting himself, started telling, a different perspective, a new way, a new path forward. And they began to battle. Because sometimes people think when they're mentoring, they're trying to create a clone to carry on their thoughts. No, you're not creating a clone to mirror you. That's not, and that's the problem with some of these folks. They think they're supposed to have somebody carry on exactly and become who they are, be a clone of them. and stick to the program. That's not what's going to happen with next generation. Next generation has their own ideas. And you got to make room for that. As long as they got the qualities and the agenda clear, let them do what they do. They're going to do it different than you. They're not supposed to be you. That's not what mentoring is about. It's about passing skill, resources, experience, and knowledge and wisdom. That's what it's about, not creating a clone. So they started butting heads, and I watched it. Y'all, I watched it. It was very public. It was a very public breakup, and it was nasty. I mean, real nasty. The Gen X was clearly up next. The Boomer did not want to go. And to this day, I've not spoke to either one of them about the circumstances. Very public, very public, very nasty breakup. Very nasty. The Gen X mentee, he literally had to sabotage and betray the Boomer to get him out of that spot. Y'all, when I seen that shit, it was like seeing a father and son fight. But that Boomer wasn't finna leave. And he wasn't going to let any new leadership, for real, like real leader, come in. Not until he took his last breath. That was his agenda. Two generations of Black folks need to take part in this institution. And it's not just about them in leadership. They surround themselves with boomers. Y'all understand that? And they protect themselves. They insulate themselves. A lot of these superintendents of schools, the motherfuckers gotta go. A lot of these people on school board, you don't even have children. You don't even have fucking kids. You're like a great grandfather, a great grandmother. Get your ass off the school board. Look at the school boards. Look at them. A bunch of 80-year-olds and 70-year-olds. Get your ass out of here. What the fuck do you know about modern education? Nothing. All your references come from 1960 when you went to fucking school. You can't even relate to modern education. All these professors, old as fuck, teaching the old shit. Where are the new ways of thinking, the new paths forward? The innovative thoughts, new research. These old motherfuckers gotta go. They're fucking up all these institutions. But I tell you what, that Gen X mentee, at the time, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I thought to myself, how could you betray him like that? Why did you do him so dirty? Why did you sabotage him and his reputation? Why did you do him like that? I never said a word, but that's how I felt. I was like, what about his legacy? What about these motherfuckers need to think about that before they ride in the spot? Because if young people have to push you out, we're gonna have to do you dirty. So you're gonna be soaked in shit on your way out the door. Don't do it to yourself. Just leave. Just go. And that's what it's gonna have to be. When I was a teacher, a young teacher, and them old bitches tried to talk crazy to me, I had to hand them their ass. I had to. They didn't want to make room for me and any other young teacher. Thought you was gonna haze me and talk to me crazy and tell me I don't know this or I don't know that because I got more degrees than you and you intimidated that I might walk in and become leadership, which I did. Surpass their ass, yes I did. In all ways. I was on the leadership team. That shit ate them bitches up. But you know what I had to do? I had to sabotage them hoes. I had to set a trap for them. You want to play age games? Okay. Keep talking that shit. And I'm taking notes the whole time. And when I got done showing how these old bitches is trying to sabotage me, and all them comments about young people and the new guard and the old guard and all that shit, I took it straight to HR. All them bitches got straight in. I had to turn them over to the administration. Cause you're not gonna do me, boo. You're not gonna do me. I earned my spot here. And you can't fucking take it away. You crazy. I got out on my own merit. You ain't no fucking gatekeeper. What the fuck do you think this is? So what I'm trying to tell y'all is Gen X, we gotta make room for the millennials and the Gen Z. We gotta give them a chance. We can't be like the boomers. We didn't have to fight the boomers too much. And this is an unseen fucking war. It's not till you talk to young people and different people that you find out this war exists. They don't want to hire you. They don't want to hire you. They'd rather hire somebody old like their ass. They don't want to give you a leadership position. They don't want you to be the fucking manager. They don't want you to get the one up on them in a career path. It's a silent war nobody talks about. But these motherfuckers do not want to succeed. We see it all around us, but nobody's saying, hey, you're old. Get your ass out of here. You're old. We're tired of you. Go away. We're too polite. We gotta start cutting these motherfuckers down. Cut them out. They need to be out of the picture. Go retire. Go retire. Go knit some fucking mittens or something. Go crochet. Go fucking fishing or something. Find something else to do. You got Social Security. Get the fuck on. Get your ass out of here. Look around at all the problems we have in any industry you can think of. And I promise you it's a boomer sitting there sorry ass way too long who refuses to mentor and refuses to move. Gen X, we got to do better. We got to be different than the boomers. Millennials, you're going to have to push Gen X the fuck out the way. And Gen Z, you're going to have to fight everybody and everything. Because they ain't leaving shit for you. I'm just saying. I feel bad for Gen Z. I really do. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Boomers got to go. It's time for up next, Ashe.